right? And so in terms of the civil restraining orders, there are different types of restraining orders. So the first one, domestic violence, that means that the person requesting the restraining order has to have a relationship that falls under Family Code 6211. So that means first degree or second degree familial relationship, or dating relationship, intimate partner. So that would fall under domestic violence. Now, if it's a relationship outside of that, so there's a table of consanguinity I can send out also so you know which relationships fall under which. But outside of a dating relationship or a close family relationship, it would be considered civil harassment. And so that could be, for instance, a neighbor, a coworker, or niece or nephew. So with the protections are a little bit different. In the domestic violence restraining orders, there are orders also for custody and visitation, if that's applicable. There's requests for move out orders, whereas in civil harassment, there would not be support orders or custody and visitation orders. Another type of civil restraining order will be an elder abuse or a dependent adult. So someone 65 or older could come to court and seek protection from being physically abused, financially, mentally, or emotionally abused, neglected, abandoned, isolated, or deprived by a caregiver of services to avoid harm or suffering. So, because of the restrictions with the pandemic and everything, what was really important for our court is to remain open the whole time of the shelter in place for victims of domestic violence to come in and seek in-person assistance. For all other non-emergency issues, the court changed the self-help services to remote. So we would answer the phone lives, we have live chat, we have remote video conferencing. We continue to offer day of court services, but remotely, but we wanted to make sure that for victims of domestic violence, for people that needed emergency custody and visitation, emergency guardianship issues, or nowadays with the evictions, kind of being an emergency because of the pandemic and the different rules, the litigants can come in directly to the court to get services. So to give you an idea, when the customer comes in, and we call them customers, I should say, because although I'm an attorney, I work for the court, we help both sides, right? So we will help the person seeking the assistance and then also the person who wants to respond to their restraining order. So we'll help and in a neutral way provide legal information, but not legal advice. So we can explain the law, tell them what to expect, but we're not going to be representing them in court. It's very different from a traditional attorney-client relationship. Yes, they can come in person. They can access our resources that way. And then we help them through their declaration to understand how to present the information to the court, because it's just a written declaration. There's not necessarily the opportunity to present evidence per se, but they can definitely include text messages or pictures, things like that. But what's really important in the declaration is to paint a clear picture for the judicial officer who's going to grant this temporary order within 24 to 48 hours. So it's a really quick turnaround time for the restraining orders, temporary restraining orders.